Hello, boys and girls. Drew here with another episode of Suck Less, but it's a little different this time because I'm not necessarily going to teach you any kind of cool tricks to show off. I'm going to teach you a very valuable lesson. A lot of guitarists, and I fell into this pitfall before, get hung up on what a guitar is made of, what kind of pickups are in it, what kind of wood it is, if the freaking frets are nickel or stainless steel, the fretboard is Wingate, ebony, maple, rosewood, blah, blah, blah. And it's easy to get sucked into it. Once you start playing, you start noticing differences in guitars. You start off with a cheap guitar, and then you go into a music store and you pick up a Les Paul or an American-made Fender, Paul Reed Smith, and go, oh my God, they feel so much better. They must be better guitars. To a degree, but that doesn't make the beginners, cheap, entry level, whatever you want to call it, doesn't make them bad guitars. I grew up playing on cheap Strat copies, and Harmony guitars in the 80s were utter driftwood junk, and everybody who's experienced knows this. Silvertone, Sears, Montgomery Ward specials, I mean, they couldn't stay in tune. The strings were like this high up off the fretboard. Oh, it was horrible. Nowadays, even if a guitar is made in China or India or Indonesia, you name it. I mean, every guitar is playable these days. Every guitar. A little fun fact, Three Kisses, our last album that was made, Read 'Em and Weep. Yeah, you should look that up on YouTube, by the way. And possibly go to the website and maybe order some stuff, because we're sitting on a lot of stuff. So you should buy it because it's good. It's good rock. Anyway, that was recorded on a Squier Strat, a Squier version of Tom DeLonge's Strat was the rhythm, and a Baja Telly, which is kind of the mid-range Tellys. I missed that guitar. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, so I decided to play guitar, and I decided to also make a video because why not? I am not playing my guitar. My guitar is indisposed at the moment. So I am playing my roommate's Stratocaster. Look, it's pretty and it's blue. It's got a sparkly pick guard on it. It's got the humbuckers in it, so it's not a blues freaking Strat guitar, but you can still play metal with one. Just ask Yngwie. Of course, if you ask Yngwie anything, all he's going to give you is pretentiousness. But anyway, he's a brilliant player, but oh my God. Anyway, but this isn't, it's a Fender, it's made by Fender, but it's a Squier Strat. It's the Affinity series, which you can't see because this cables. All right, see that? It says Affinity. The Affinity series is a pretty much, this is a $200 guitar. You can get it for $199 at any store. And in fact, I think you can get this in one of those beginner packs that comes with the amp, the guitar, strap, picks, extra set of strings, little bag. They're actually pretty good deals for if you're starting. Anyway, I like Strats, but I'm not a huge fan. I don't know, I'm metal. And yeah, sure, plenty of people play metal on Strat. It's just not me. I don't know. I'm more Ibanez Jackson. Everybody knows this. Anyway, but, Fender's tried and true guitar. They've been making them, well, they started it, I think. Yeah, they started it. So if it weren't for Fender, yeah. Anyway, so I'm playing a Squier Affinity $200 Strat. Sounds pretty good. It's plugged into my esteemed colleague Tish's. Got dark all of a sudden. What did I do? I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Jeez. She's got a Marshall Hayes 40. It's pretty sweet amp. Hopefully you can hear it because it's over there. Anyway, so it's kind of a review, I guess, in a way. Man, this is weird. Technology. It's all computers, man. Okay. So, I mean, this guitar is pretty standard for Fender. It's still an alder body. It's a little thinner than a Fender one, but it's still alder. It's not cheap wood, you know. Alder's good wood. You know, rosewood fretboard, maple neck. I mean, what more do you need? You know, sure, mahogany's necks or mahogany bodies are, you know, they're meaty, but it's all a preference. So yeah, it's pretty, you know, I'm not going to school you on what a Strat is. Everybody who's watching this knows what a Strat is. Everybody who doesn't play guitar knows what a Strat is. If you've ever seen, you know, Hendrix play, you know what a Strat is. Except he played his backwards because he was a lefty, southpaw. Anyway. Sounds pretty good, right? I mean, I don't have another guitar here to compare. There's tons of comparison videos on YouTube. Go watch those if you don't believe me. But anyway, I'm gonna go back to the last video that I played along with something, and I'm just gonna play a little bit after this stupid ad goes away. The whole world's just one big ad. Okay, just to give you a little, you know, show you the performance of this guitar. Anyway, see? It's possible with a cheap guitar. Cheap doesn't mean bad. Cheap means you're poor and you have hang-ups about spending thousands of dollars on a guitar. I can tell you right now, I have spent, I think the most I've ever spent on a guitar, well, $2,000. It was a Les Paul. I love the way Les Pauls sound. Nothing sounds like a Les Paul. But man, I'm going to choose my words wisely here because I know I love Les Pauls. I love them. I just hate the way they play. I don't like their necks. I'm not used to their necks, I guess I should say. I just don't like them. All my idols play Les Pauls. Ace Frehley being the biggest one. The man has barely touched another guitar in his life. Jimmy Page made his. He's pretty much always played Gibsons and Tellys here and there, but Les Paul makes an Access that's pretty cool. It takes that big ass heel off of it and shaves it and puts a Floyd on it, makes it a metal Les Paul. Those are cool, except they need 24 frets instead of 22. But anyway, this is just a lesson in humility, I guess. Just because you have a Les Paul or a Paul Reed Smith that cost you $50,000, and yes, there are some out there that cost that much, doesn't mean that they play better or they're, better than a $200 little Squire. So don't feel bad that you can't go online and brag about your guitar. Go online and brag about your playing. Eddie Van Halen can pick this guitar up and make it sound just like he's playing his signature guitar. The same thing with just about any established guitarist. Steve Vai could pick this thing up and make it sound like he's playing one of his gems, but it'll be this. Your tone is not in. A lot of it does come from the guitar, but mainly it comes from this thing here, your hand. So, again, just because you can't afford a great guitar or an expensive guitar doesn't mean you can't have a great one. So anyway, that was my lesson for today. Introspective, deep and stuff, and inspiring, hopefully. So keep rocking, keep playing, keep learning, keep growing as a musician, because we need that in this world. We need musicians, actual musicians. So, ciao.